Welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of Jacksonville Zoom at noon meeting. I will now call the meeting to order by ringing the Rotary bell. We have a great program planned today. Thank you for joining us. During this program, everyone will be on mute, so feel free to submit questions by utilizing the chat function. I also want to remind you that today's presentation is being recorded. John Chapelier will provide today's invocation. John.
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. This is something I wrote after I talked actually with Kelley Shaw on a podcast about service above self. This is called Joy Through Service Above Self. We may not feel we were born to greatness, but we can achieve it in our own way. Not simply by the recognition of others, but even in a more powerful way. We will find greatness through service, service above self. Living a life focused outward rather than inward brings a joy-filled peace of mind and a life not just of success, but also of significance. Through our focus on service, we raise our joy and celebration by becoming expressions of love in action. Joy is a byproduct of service, and just like service, joy is inherent in the soul of each of us. Through service above self, we become more creative, more resourceful, more caring, and more supportive. Through the joy of service, we produce better results, build more robust relationships, and carry forward with joy. Service above self changes our focus from what's in it for me to what's in it from me. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John. Please be sure to mark your calendar for our district seminar this coming Saturday. District Governor Rich Turnbull and his wife Marie have done a great job putting this virtual program together, and we look forward to having a large contingent from the Rotary Club of Jacksonville participating. Our club will be recognized for several awards as well, so make plans to spend Saturday morning with us. Today we have our downtown Rotaract president, Eustachius Roberts, with us. He will give us a Rotaract update and share information about Rotaract's upcoming event. Eustachius?
Yes, thank you, Jerry. The club is going well so far this year. For those that don't know, my name is Eustachius Roberts, current president of Downtown Rotaract Jacks. Thank you for having me today. Special thank you to the members that have spoken at our meeting so far, and also that have been referring some young people to join the club. We're on the verge of getting some new members, particularly people that came from Jesus Ray and Bill Sorensen. So thank you to those two and everyone else on the board for collaborating so far. But the real reason that I'm here today is to speak to you about our upcoming event. Trunk or Treat, we are collaborating with all of the Rotaract clubs in Jacksonville, but downtown is hosting it. It's going to be at Spring Park Elementary Saturday, October 1st on Halloween from 2 to 4 p.m. It's going to be a COVID-friendly drive-through trunk or treat event. We still have some space for some people that would like to sign up and actually come out there with their cars. So if you look festive and you want a reason to dress up this year and you haven't been invited to a party yet, come out and party with us and pass out candy to some kids. We also have an Amazon wish list if you'd like to contribute individually for the candy count that we'll be giving out to the students. We were just trying to take the edge off that we know we're going to be spending money and decorating their cars and costumes. And thank you also to the Rotary Club of Jacksonville for providing some funds to that directly. But I will post those links in the chat. I'll also put my contact information for anyone that would like to reach out to me directly, whether it be, just referring someone or speaking at a future meeting, or more information about these events. I'll post my cell phone number, my email address, and I'll also have the links directly for the sign-up that would like to participate and for the Amazon list. So with that being said, I will pass it back to Jerry. Thank you very much again for having me today.
Thank you, Eustachius. We have sad news to report. Please keep the Cooksey and the Marvin families in your thoughts and prayers. The sister of past President Guy Marvin III passed away last Tuesday. Sandra Francis, originally from Jacksonville, resided in Dover, Delaware. A memorial service will be held at a later date in Jacksonville. Past President J. Brian Cooksey II, the father of the Cooksey family, was recently diagnosed with terminal cancer. He was in the hospital over the weekend and expected to be released to go home today under hospice care. Please keep them all in your prayers. Mark your calendar for November 16th. We will begin in-person meetings at the Omni. A virtual format will still be available for those that are unable to attend. Attendance will be limited with social distancing protocols in place, and registration in advance will be required. The times of our meetings will go back to our old format starting November 16th. 12 p.m. check-in and networking program. The program will begin at 12:30 to 1 p.m. We'll have more details coming out this week. I will now call on Warren Jones, who will introduce today's Rotary's newest member.
Thank you very much. And it's my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Dale, or she likes to be called Steph. And one of the reasons I'm really pleased to introduce her to the club is because she embodies what John was talking about a few minutes ago, service. I've come to know her through our relationship at Riverside Avondale Preservation, but she turns up in a lot of different places, helping a lot of different organizations. Stephanie Dale is the owner and founder of Go Tuckin' Incorporated, a tour, private event, mobile bar, bartending, and urban transportation company located in downtown Jacksonville, who primarily utilizes eco-friendly vehicles from Amsterdam called tuk-tuks. Her passion for locals helping locals is evident in the relationships she continues to build across our urban core areas. Several of her tours provide ongoing contributions back to other businesses such as RAP and Art Global, Art Republic Global from the tours specifically to those genres. In addition, she seeks out relationships to bring ongoing customers to many other local businesses throughout the entire urban core. After spending nearly 20 plus years in the hospitality, learning, and development and HR space for some of the most well-known companies in Florida and the world, Stephanie knows what it takes to continuously be best-in-class, customer-focused business. She strives to maintain a 5-star rating in all the services that she provides. Stephanie is also the owner of a travel agency franchise called Cruise Planners, Steph Dale and Associates. This is a full-service travel agency supporting groups and individuals with their quest for unique travel experiences. Her travel associates have over 25 plus years experience in travel. Stephanie holds an undergrad in accounting from Troy State University, 2 masters, one in human resource development and human resource management from Webster University, 2.5 years towards her PhD in leadership and organizational effectiveness, and a multitude of certifications, including many in the tourism field that she is most passionate about. Stephanie is most proud of her family. Her husband, Steve Dix, is a senior electrical engineer and design manager for Haskell. Her son, Bobby Dale, is a senior at Ole Miss, Hot Toddy. Her stepdaughter, Kendra Dix, graduated from the University of Central Florida and lives right here in Riverside and is working as an educator in Duval County. Stephanie and Steve also have their youngest pet, a golden doodle puppy called Tucker, who is the Go Tuckin' mascot. You can actually follow Tucker on Instagram at Tucker Dog. That's TUKRDUG. They also live in Panda the cat and their 16-year-old old long-haired Chihuahua named Nikki's condo in Atlantic Beach because, in fact, it is their condo. So welcome, Stephanie, to the Rotary Club of Jacksonville.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I'm so excited about being able to be a part of this great group and obviously ongoing contributing to our community and really getting to know each and every one of you. So thank you again. I really do appreciate it.
Steph, welcome to the Rotary Club of Jacksonville. I'll be sending you a coin. It displays Rotary's 4-way test. Everyone would join me in reciting the Rotary 4-way test now. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Welcome, Steph. 2 years ago, past President Tracy Jenks set a goal to resurrect our annual club fundraiser. She was involved in a gala event similar to the large fundraisers that the Rotary Club of Jacksonville was known for back in the day. That event in 2019 became our club's signature event. The lady she placed in charge to chair that event needs no introduction to her club. Year one was very successful. Last year, about this time, the committee began plans for the 2020 event. It was set for May and sadly canceled due to COVID. But that is what I want to tell you. The committee did not stop. They continue to meet and collaborate and find ways to make it happen. You see, we made a commitment to support the American Red Cross with their Home Fire Command campaign. That meant purchasing 700 smoke alarms and over a $30,000 commitment. Kelley Shaw was in charge, and Kelley, we are grateful for your passion and your leadership. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Kelley, who will introduce today's speaker.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Jerry, so much. I just can't say enough how special today truly is. As Jerry mentioned, the committee, the Signature Event Committee, has been working tirelessly. Gosh, it seems forever ago that we were all together and planning this incredible event for May 1st. And so if I could just take a step backwards, what you might remember, the event that we were planning, the Cocktail Party with a Cause, it included an online auction at the Haskell building. We were going to have experiences like no experiences have been offered in an auction before in Jacksonville. We were going to have a fantastic event held at the Haskell building with entertainment featuring some of our own Rotarians in that entertainment. So while today we are in fact celebrating the incredible success of actually raising $31,500 to give to the American Red Cross Home Fire Campaign, this would not be possible if it were not for the committee. And so I just want to read some of these names so that everybody is aware. So we're all on the same page before we turn it over to Gerald. These are the committee members that have put this success story together. We start with Jeannie Terrace, Julie Lamy, Pete Denholm, Tracy Jenks, Anita Pruitt, Frank Wallmeyer, Jimmy Peluso, Jenny Malloy, Melissa Rowe, Susan Mascucci, who actually created and designed our logo for the event, Tammy Hodo, Josh Craps, Rick Bouchereau, Rachel Mueller, Shelby Dorsey, Dawn Alexander, and also Marianne Thomas from the Red Cross, who joined us. And it would not be possible if we didn't have our very own Bill Learn helping us with the committee as well and handling all our graphics on the webpage. So if together everybody could just kind of give a round of applause to this amazing committee, I personally would really appreciate it. So what you see on the screen, as Jerry sort of alluded to, we have very exciting news. The check presentation was actually last Thursday at the Red Cross building on Riverside. And what you see here, we actually had the big check. We gave it to Gerald and the Red Cross staff. Miller Electric joined us. We had a really special occasion. This special ad featuring pictures from the check presentation featuring everybody that was there will actually run in the Jacksonville Business Journal this coming Friday. So be sure to check out the JBJ on Friday. We wouldn't have great media exposure if we didn't have them on board as our sponsor. So for folks that were not there on Friday, I just need to pay special homage to a few names. We had 100% board of director participation to help us reach our goal. This is absolutely amazing. Obviously, Miller Electric stepped up and gave us a huge sponsorship donation. Julie Lamy with Grant Thornton, Jeannie Terrace with Terrace Wealth Management, but the board of directors stepped up, as well as Jim Agee, Michelle Baker, Rusty Creighton, Pete Denholm, Scott Eater, Marie Nagy, Russell Grice, Tommy Grimes, Tracy Jenks, Charlie Jimerson, Jerry Kelley, Dick Lewis, Julie Mason, Sean Mulholland, Sarah Olson, Madison Shelley, Alex Safakis, Bill Sorensen, Howie Wanamaker, and our very own past president, Tom Bryan. So again, let's give everyone a round of applause. We would not have been able to do this if we did not have your generous support. Okay, without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome Gerald Thomas. And stand by. This is probably one of the most incredible bios that you've ever heard about an individual. I am both humbled and blessed to call Gerald not only a fellow Rotarian, but also get to call him a dear friend. Gerald Thomas currently serves as the regional CEO of the North Florida region American Red Cross that's actually headquartered here in Jacksonville. Gerald oversees all Red Cross operations, programs, and services, and leads a dedicated team of 35 paid staff and over 1,800 volunteers in 35 of Florida's 67 counties. Previously, Gerald served as the Director of Strategic Planning and Program Management for service to the armed forces at the American Red Cross. Gerald also, prior to joining the Red Cross, served as the Managing Director of Community Solutions Brownsville Partnership in Brooklyn. Gerald has served as Senior Advisor to Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Wounded Warrior Care and Transition Policy. During his military service, Gerald was an infantry officer in the United States Marine Corps. In addition to leading Marines in 2 combat theaters, his 21 years of service was highlighted by other tours as Congressional Fellow, Marine Corps Liaison to the Joint Staff and Deputy Director of the Marine Corps Congressional Liaison Office to the U.S. House of Representatives. He is a 2-tour combat veteran and Bronze Star with V recipient for actions in Operation Iraqi Freedom. In his free time, Gerald enjoys cycling and running. He is a member of Kappa Alpha Phi fraternity and serves on the board of the Northeast Neighborhood Project in Hartford, Connecticut. As I said, I am humbled and honored to call Gerald a fellow Rotarian of Rotary Club of Jacksonville, but most importantly, I'm delighted to call him my friend. Gerald?
Thank you, Kelley. And thank you for such a nice introduction. I really appreciate it. And I am tremendously humbled to call you friend also. And thank you for your willingness to join our board and help us do this life-saving work. President Jerry, thank you for allowing me to share a little bit about the great work of the American Red Cross. And while I'm lucky enough to be the person standing in front of you to brief today, none of this would be possible if it weren't for the 1,600 plus volunteers that continually answer the call each day across the 35 counties of the North Florida region of the American Red Cross. We are continually committed to being the most ready when our communities are least ready. Every day, the Red Crossers across the globe are impacting lives, and whether that be with community services to military members or answering the call for disaster response, making sure that the life-saving blood products are on the shelves when they're needed, or all the way to making sure that children across the world have measles or rubella vaccinations. We are continually making this work happen every day. We have said a lot this year that this is an unprecedented year in many ways, from the pandemic to so many other things that are happening across our country that we see in the news cycle every night. And disasters fit right into that bucket. Our teams have been responding to disasters since January of this year. And that means that those 1,600 volunteers that I talked about are leaving Northeast Florida and going across the country to support disasters that are happening everywhere across this country, whether that be with wildfires, whether that be with hurricanes, tornadoes and floods, derechos. They are going and out into communities to provide that help where it's needed most. And we talk about, the pandemic, and the pandemic has caused us to change the way that we do business. It has made our responses more complex and more costly. And, when we go out and respond to disasters, we're going to, make sure most of those are virtual now. We do that through video or teleconferencing. Our shelters are, we like to go non-congregate when we can. So we are putting folks up in hotels. We have folks in hotels in New Orleans now from Hurricane Laura and also just recently Hurricane Delta. And we anticipate those families will probably be in those hotels through Christmas of this year. Additionally, when our service to the armed forces business line, we're making sure that we're able to continue to provide responses to those critical community services that we provide. We've seen a uptick in requests for financial assistance as our service members and their families try and navigate through this pandemic. And that includes our veterans and our reservists also. And we also have taken this opportunity during the pandemic to begin to collect blood here in Northeast Florida, which is something that we hadn't done in over 9 years. And we've been able to collect blood here, and we've really been focusing on getting out into our diverse communities and providing life-saving blood products for the African American community, which is impacted severely by diseases like sickle cell anemia. And what we know is that when we have an ethnic match, the antigens from those blood products improve the outcomes for those people that receive those transfusions. One thing that I like to say, we're an incredibly efficient organization. 90% of our workforce are volunteers, and 90 cents of every dollar that is donated goes towards our life-saving work. So we're very good stewards of the donor dollar, and that is what helps us carry out our mission every day. And as we talk about, evolving, I'd like to share something with you around our evolving client care system. So hopefully this works. I tried it earlier, it works. As Kelley mentioned, I'm a grunt. I know that, there are a lot of guys out there that are like aviators, and they'll probably be able to figure this out, but I'm going to cross my fingers here and see what happens.
We are the American Red Cross, and for over 100 years, we have supported people affected by disaster and military families facing emergencies. We understand when there is a disaster or emergency, your world can be turned upside down. Meet Mel, a military service member whose home was destroyed by a fire. She turned to the Red Cross to support her needs and help define what normal looks like after her disaster. Mel and her family needed a place to stay immediately. She needed financial assistance and guidance replacing lost items. She needed a caring person to listen. Our experience has allowed us to help individuals, families, and communities navigate tough situations. But what if we had a system that combined our service expertise with cutting-edge technology to provide more people the right help at the right time? Introducing our next generation in client care. Through a secure and easy-to-use system, we can provide assistance to clients affected by a disaster or an emergency through information more relevant to them when they need it most. For Mel, she receives accurate information from a trusted source and knows her voice is heard throughout the process. She can track the progress of her case, and she can reach out for help when needed. She feels empowered to make her own decisions at her own pace throughout her journey. The value extends beyond our clients. An easy-to-use and intuitive system allows our team to focus on providing personalized care and compassion to our clients. Partners will have access to more accurate client information, allowing them to share their services with those who need them most. And a deeper understanding of our clients' needs will promote better stewardship for our donors and increase the impact of their generosity. By designing around values that matter most to our clients, we will build on our legacy of impactful client care and support, moving beyond casework to create stronger communities, one client at a time. getting to a new normal, better, easier, together.
Awesome. I'm glad it worked. Crossing my fingers there. We here in the North Florida region are an early adopter of that system, and that system is really going to be able to help us take better care of our clients during what we know is the most common disaster, and that is the home fire. So we know that home fires are the most common disaster when we think about, the scale or the scope of disasters along that continuum. Every 8 minutes, there's a home fire, and we're responding to disasters, and the majority of, like I said, are home fires. And so, what happens, during that home fire is usually late at night, early in the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and you have the family standing outside of their home watching it burn. And they're out there with everything that they could probably grab, and they're probably in their pajamas or sweats. And when you see, the news play that every morning, the last thing that you hear them say is that, and the Red Cross was there. And what that means is that there's some Red Crosser that got up out of their bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and went to provide that family help at one of the worst possible events of their lifetime. And this is kind of how that goes, right? I just talked to you a little bit about it at 2 a.m. The incident happens, the fire department goes out, they reach out to us, and we have a volunteer that goes out to connect with that family. Now, because of the pandemic, that's happening, via virtual means, whether that be through an iPhone or Zoom or whatever platform that works best for that family. But that's the way we get it done. We get a chance to make sure that family has some place to stay, and we meet those immediate needs. If they need medication, if they need glasses, if they need replacing dentures, they need wheelchairs, anything that they might need that needs to be replaced, we can help them get that. We also check with them and follow up to make sure that that there aren't any lingering needs to help them get back to their new normal. And in this situation, this family decided to pay it forward and go back in and help us install a smoke alarm as a volunteer when it's safe to go back into homes. And that's pretty much what we are here to talk about today, is that home fire campaign. We know that readiness saves lives, and the presence of a working smoke alarm in a home increases survival in that home by 54%. Last year, in addition to focusing on our households, our volunteers connected with home daycares to assure that they all had current escape plans and they had working smoke detectors to make sure that we didn't have any incidents like the one that happened in Pennsylvania, where several children died in an overnight daycare fire. Those smoke detectors in that home hadn't been checked, and they didn't work. And as a result, we had several little kids in a daycare that lost their lives for something that could have been preventable. And as we go through and try and navigate through the pandemic, we're continuing to try and look for innovative ways to still get into homes virtually. We're currently exploring partnerships with utility companies to piggyback off of their home efficiency conversations that they're having with clients to allow us to get into those homes and talk about those home escape plans, have them walk through their homes and check their smoke alarms to make sure they aren't either too old, check the batteries, and make sure they at least have one, right? And then here in Northeast Florida, since we've been doing this work in 2014, we've installed over 12,000 new smoke alarms. We had 6,600 home fire escape plans, and we've responded to almost 3,000 home fires. And because of your support, we are going to be able to make more than 700 homes safer here in Northeast Florida. And so thank you for that. And Kelley, I can't thank you for your leadership and your grit in making this happen. President Jerry, I will turn it back over to you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Well, I'm unmuted. Glad to take it back over, Gerald. We have a few questions, more comments. Scott Eder asks, why has it been 9 years since the Red Cross last collected blood in our area?
Okay, so the Red Cross, basically that was a business decision. There's One Blood is here and they do a great job of meeting the needs of the community. But during the pandemic, what we saw was there's a tremendous reduction in donors actually having those blood drives. And so that presented an opportunity for us here in Northeast Florida to get back into blood collection.
So here's a comment slash a congratulations from Steph, our new member. The American Red Cross helped my daughter Kendra while in college when her apartment burnt down. They were there in Orlando before we could arrive to comfort her. That comfort and support is critical. Thank you for everything. The newest member. Bill Sorensen asked, does the Red Cross assist families in the restoration of the home?
So we don't do any home restoration. One of the great things about the Red Cross is that we are a convener and we have great partners that we work with that we can connect our clients to help with those services. So places like Habitat and other organizations are folks that can actually help rebuild.
And then Kelly Shaw asked, what does a service day look like with COVID? And how does your partnership with JEA work?
Great question, Kelly. Great question, Kelly. So I didn't want to specifically call out JEA because we're not quite done with that partnership, but we are having conversations with JEA to be able to, like I said, piggyback off of their services when they do their virtual home efficiency calls with clients. And that'll allow us to virtually go into homes and help those families also with their escape plans and with their maybe, I don't know if we're going to get to that, but getting back into homes to do smoke alarm detectors. And the service day, we haven't been in our offices since March 9th. All of my team right now across North Florida is working virtually. And so everything that we're doing is by Zoom or by Microsoft Teams or use of phones. Even during our latest response in Pensacola during Hurricane Sally, for which I deployed out, that was a lot of that work was done virtually. Over 40% of the staff that supported that response were virtual. So we've really put a lot of effort into make sure that workforce safety is key and the safety of our clients is key.
So we have a question from Morris Applewhite. Any idea how many homes in North Florida are still without fire smoke alarms? And do you focus on both single family homes and multi-home dwellings, apartments?
So I don't know the number that don't have fire smoke alarms. We focus our effort in those communities of highest need. We found that those communities typically have either don't have smoke alarms or they're super old, right? And even if you look into your homes and your smoke alarm is kind of yellow, that means it needs to be replaced, right? It's over 10 years old, it needs to be replaced. So that's how we really focus our efforts. If there happens to be a home fire in an area, we will go out and canvass that area to make sure that families know that there was a home fire in the area and we are there to help them with their escape plans and offer up the free service of smoke alarms.
So we have another comment. Kudos to, this is from Jeannie Terrace. Kudos to Kelly and everyone that worked on making this donation to the Red Cross so impactful. That was a wonderful ceremony you had the other day, and those, especially the contributions of the major donors, it was very impactful. I thought it was very well done, and you've done a great job.
Agreed. Well, it was all Kelly. It's all Kelley and my colleague Mary Ann who made it happen.
Well, I think Miller Electric might have had some small part of what was. Thank you very much, Gerald.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Don't forget the district seminar next Saturday. Let's see here. Make plans to join us next Monday for Zoom at noon. Mayor Lenny Curry will be our guest speaker. At the conclusion of the meeting, our Zoom platform will remain open. Some of you are attending the Manual of Policy and Procedures Committee meeting. I am one of those. Those invited to this meeting should see an option to join on their screen. Be sure to click on the breakout button at the bottom or the side of your screen. If you're expected to be in this meeting and do not see an option to join, please drop us a note in the chat area of your screen. This will allow you to be admitted into that meeting. For the rest of you, and especially Steph, welcome to the club. Thank you for all being with us today. We hope you've had a great week and we'll see you next Monday. That concludes today's meeting. Thank you.